Hmm. Yung nagtawag sa atin. Kakapanood ko lang kanina eh. Bilang, magaan. Ano daw? I-discuss ko. Si Teacher Mark naman, oh. Anyway, maganda na yan. The Chris here is BND. Biglaan lang. Usapan natin ang... Uy! Iba yung naka-highlight. I'm so sorry. Iba. Pagta natin. Hindi po yan ang discussion natin. Ito. Okay. Congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Nakita ko. I think kung napanood nyo yung video ni Teacher Mark. Okay. Malalaman nyo bakit tayo dumaan dito. Pero bago yan, syempre, mag-start tayo sa ating intro by Pinoy Bro Media. Baba.
Hindi magtigil, laging inaalala ang bawat detalye-tigil. Pasyente pamilya, sa kanya'y mahalaga. Kaya bawat check-up, laging may pag-asa. Si Doc Chris, let's go BND. Para sa pamilya, laging ready. Kung kailangan mo na consulpo dito, pumunta sa klinika, yun ang totoo.
Okay. Magandang araw. Doc Chris here, your off-duty family doctor. And welcome to another video. Pag-usapan natin ang isa sa mga tinetest under the Expanded Newborn Screening Program or the NBS ng ating mga sanggol sa ating bansa. So, highlight natin ang congenital adrenal hyperplasia. So, ang newborn screening ay hindi siya bago, kumbaga. Kasi ginagawa naman ito ng ating hospital at saka ating healthcare by means of the program of the Department of Health on the newborn screening. Now, bakit tayo nagpapa-newborn screening? So, ano ba yung kahalagaan nito? Okay. Ano bang kahalagaan ng newborn screening na yan? Wait lang. Hindi siya nagkakuan. Wait. Ayan. Okay, ayan. So, ang newborn screening is a program na it is important for us to promote so that we can save more children, more babies, no? More babies from getting sick, more babies from getting reducing the morbidity of children. Kasi congenital problems are real, okay? Reality yun. Nagkakaroon talaga tayo. And there are a lot. Okay? So, newborn screening hopes to screen early children, no? As early as their first day of life. So, after 24 hours. We screen them. We take a sample of their blood to check for abnormalities, no? Kasi kahit pinanganak mo yung bata na normal, umiiyak, malakas ang iyak, there are certain enzymes na wala sa kanilang sistema. There are also certain level of chemicals or biochemicals na deficient sa isang bata. So, this includes endocrine disorders, na kasama na dyan ang main topic natin ngayon, congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Kasama rin nito ang congenital hypothyroidism. Now, aside from endocrine diseases or diseases ng mga hormones or endocrine system, we have your amino acid disorders. So, amino acids are essential in the growth of individuals, no? Or babies or humans per se. So, marami tayong amino acid disorders, no? Na pwedeng ma-screen by means of newborn screening. Then, we also have your fatty acid disorders. Also, essential, okay? Essential biomolecules in the development of a child, no? Kung wala kasi ng mga ito, it might lead to mental retardation or poor developmental growth. Okay? So, aside from fatty acids, amino acids, organic acids are also organic acid disorders, are also screened. Okay? So, siguro napansin nyo, may mga common na dito na naririnig. Maple syrup urine disease, phenylketonuria, okay, ano ba? And halos lahat yan, enzyme deficiency. Because yung enzyme talaga yung kulang sa bata. No? Kaya nagkakaroon siya ng deficiency sa kanilang katawan. Okay? Aside from those molecules, amino acid, fatty acids, and organic acids, your urea cycle enzymes might be deficient, no? Citrullinemia and arginosuccinic aciduria can also be detected, no? And then hemoglobinopathies, okay, particularly alpha thalassemia, beta thalassemia, hemoglobin C, D, and E, and sickle cell diseases. Now, diseases of the blood, pwede natin i-discuss yan some other time, as well as siguro bigyan natin ng separate discussion ng amino acid disorders and fatty acid disorders. Mag-focus tayo kay congenital adrenal hyperplasia kasi ito yung main concern ng ating puting teacher, no? Okay, before that, syempre kailangan din natin alam bakit kailangan ba natin sila i-screen, okay? Why is it important to do newborn screening sa babies? So newborn screening is a simple procedure to find out our babies have congenital disorders and may lead to mental retardation or even death. Okay? Now, we have already expanded the program in the country from 6 lang na diseases. We are now screening for 28. Okay? Ang presyo nga lang niya ay pumapatak siya sa 1,750 pero mainam na yun na ipagawa para lang din maging aware tayo, no, ahead of time pagkapanganak ng bata. Now, pwede rin naman siyang PhilHealth benefit package, okay, which is an essential service for newborns during the first few days of life. So, pwede siyang i-cover ng PhilHealth. Okay, no worries about that. Basta ipanganak mo siya sa hospital na maayos, okay, idalhin siya either sa birthing center, sa primary care hospital, or even any DOH at retained hospital, and even a private hospital. Ginagawa naman yan. No? When is it done? Usually, ginagawa siya sa immediately after the first 24 hours of life. Bakit first 24 hours of life? Kasi yung levels ng molecules, even yung enzymes would settle, would start to kick in, no, pagkapanganak mo pa lang after 24 hours. Most likely, ganun. May studies na kasi yan na nirelate. Ayaw din nila na mas maaga sa 24 hours. But there are certain situations na kailangan gawin yun. Let's say, for example, hindi siya pinanganak na term or hindi siya kabuanan na pinanganak or maliit siya, no? Low birth weight or meron siyang preterm birth siya. So usually nakukuhanan siya mas maaga. Okay, before the first 24, pero may dictum doon na usually we repeat the newborn screening test after 28 days of life. So hindi siya after 24 hours. So, pag ganung mga sitwasyon na, let's say, preterm, maliit yung bata, ganun, may sakit, okay, weak looking, critically ill, ganun, kailangan ma-admit, ulitin yung newborn screening after 28 days, okay, of life, which is usually the protocol naman, no? Now, how is it done? Kukuha lang siya ng dugo. So, papakita mo natin kung paano siya kolektahin, no? And then, tinetest siya sa mga accredited hospitals lying in rural health, doon ang collection site, and then sinesend siya sa isang testing center. Then, ibibigay nila yung results once magkaroon na ng final validation, no? So, centralized ito. Meron database ang Pilipinas. Okay? So, isa dyan nga si congenital adrenal hyperplasia. So, kung napansin nyo tol sa mga mommies natin, kung nakikita nyo to sa bedside dati na pinapahawak nila or hawak ng midwife, ito yon. Okay? Pinifila-pan yung data, yan, pinapakolekta yung data na yan. Now, kinukuhanan ba ng newborn screening ang isang, let's say, stillbirth or namatay yung bata? Kinukuhanan pa rin. Okay? Pero, ninonote pa rin doon dito sa sa results na birth status. Yan. So usually, the birth status, ninonote din dyan kung ano bang clinical status ng bata. Kung namatay ba siya, sick, or low birth weight, ganun. Ino-notify dyan. Para lang din ma-test. Kasi baka malay natin, yung reason of the patient's demise is from a congenital disease. Para lang din ma-investigate. Now, kung lahat ng mga pinanganak na bata, well, baby, malusog-lusog, kinukuha na ng ganito. So, kukuha ng patak, nilalagay dito sa bilog na to. Dapat mapuno yan. Okay? Sa mga kilala ko mga medtech dyan, nagawa din natin to, guys. Di ba? Yan. Okay. So, proper collection requires proper materials. Okay. Warm moist cloth, cleat, proper gloves, and then alcohol. So, lahat yan dapat meron available. Even the filter card, yung card na yun, ready na siya sa ating bedside. No? Unang pinapagawa, wina-warm namin yung heel ng baby. Okay, yung paanan. Doon sa may ball sa likod. No, doon. Kasi doon dapat magkakaroon ng warm flow of blood. And para mas mabilis magkaroon tayo ng collection ng dugo doon sa area na yan. So, pag pinapainit mo kasi yan, magkakaroon ng magiging mapula-pula, okay, pinkish, and once you collect blood in that area, mas may delivery ka of more of collection, diba? Yeah. So eventually, kapag nag-collect ka, you have to sterilize the area, no, with a alcohol or swabbing solution, and then you puncture it with a feather edge needle. So pag na-puncture mo na siya, okay, usually once lang yan, no? Para lang din, syempre, mahirap naman yung twice. Magkagalit yung nanay kapag 2 beses mo tinusok yan. Okay, dapat magaling ka isang puncture lang, no? So, wipe the first drop off and then you start collecting. Pag napansin nyo, pag diniretso natin dito, pinapatak siya. Sige, zoom natin. Yan. Yan, pinapatak siya. Okay? Dapat 4. Apat dapat. Okay, wait. Walang apat dapat talaga. 4 dapat. Yan. Tignan mo, ito dapat yung tamang collection. Ganyan, itsura niya. Bawal yung ganyan. Okay? Bawal din yung lampas-lampas. Bawal din yung nagmumukhang Mickey Mouse. Bawal din yung hindi ewan ko ba't nangyari ito. Nadurog siguro yung gilid. Tapos, bawal din yung parang namumuo na yung dugo. Dapat bright red. No? So, dapat proper collection. Okay? So, 4 dapat. As after you're done, syempre, thank the parents and then wipe off the excess blood and then cover it with sterile cotton. Now, testing usually would take a few days or weeks, but we wait for the results. Until then, syempre, papagalagaan ng bata under the care of the mother pag uwi. No? So, ang siniscreen natin sa congenital adrenal hyperplasia ay itong presence ng hormone na ito. So, we're testing a hormone, not an enzyme here. No? So, 17-hydroxyprogesterone. Now, progesterone, parang sa progesterone sa babae lang to, di ba? Bakit tinitignan natin? Pati di ba sa lalaki? Actually, dyan mo makikita kung ano ba yung kahiwagaan ng katawan ng isang tao. Kasi, nag-intertwine ang hormones natin at nagpapakita siya ng expression kung lalaki ba siya o babae. Okay? Lalo na dun sa mga hormones that is related to the steroid or cholesterol hormones, no? Like yung hydroxyprogesterone, estrogen, testosterone, lahat yan nanggagaling sa cholesterol. Okay, here is the flow of the synthesis of the hormones from cholesterol, sabi ko nga. No, from cholesterol, yan, cholesterol, marami siyang pwedeng magawan, no? Sa lahat ito nangyayari sa adrenal glands. So, pag sa adrenal glands, may picture dapat ako ng adrenal glands, no? Tingnan natin. May picture ba ako? Tingnan ko nga. Ay, wala. Sige, tingin tayo ng picture ng adrenal glands. Wait lang. Wait lang ha. Tingin lang tayo. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, I'm back. Tingnan natin, habol natin. Okay, ito yung picture. Sige na nga, pakita natin yung picture dyan sa gilid. Itong kwan, yan, dyan ka muna ha. Tapos si baby dyan. Okay. Ang adrenal glands ay nasa tuktok ng inyong kidneys. No, ito. A healthy adrenal is usually situated naman doon sa area na yon. Now, hyperplasia meaning dumadami ang cells. Sa sitwasyon ng adrenals kasi madalas may fat yung area na yan. Pero dito, dumadami ang more on the cellular area component. Kasi nako-consume yung lahat yung fat. And nako-convert siya sa hindi natin gustong magkaroon. No? So, si cholesterol, dadaan siya dyan. No? Dito sa area ng aldosterone, okay, isang layer ng adrenals yan, tsaka cortisol and even yung sexual hormones natin, no? So, ano ito? Adrenal cortex, medulla, and then, ano ba yung isa? Layers of the adrenals. Wait, nakalimutan ko na. Layers, the adrenal cortex. Yan. Zona glomerulosa, zona fasciculata, and zona reticularis. So, again, your aldosterone, kapag tinignan mo kasi kung aldosterone, anong layer, anong part ng adrenals, part of the adrenal cortex is usually the one that is creating your aldosterone, no? For your cortisol naman, it's mainly from the zona fasciculata, no? So that is the second layer ng adrenal cortex. Then for your testosterone or androstenedione, this is on the fly, guys. Okay. Precisely on the adrenal glands. So, ano ba? Testosterone. Yeah. It's mainly in the inner medulla, no? So, the cortex is usually your aldosterone. Cortex meaning outer layer. Medulla, particularly the reticularis. Okay, zona reticularis would be your cortisol. And then, for your for your testosterone will be your medulla, no? Okay. Now, yung hormones kasi quite distributed siya, no? Distributed siya. Okay. Dinagdag ko rin pala, no? These two, yung aldosterone tsaka cortisol, there are more on the cortex. So may layers kasi yung cortex kanina, 'di ba? Sabi natin fasciculata layer, the fasciculata layer of the cortex is usually the one that is creating your glucocorticoids, no? And then aldosterone is mainly also created in the cortex. Now, dun sa medulla, usually yung ating hormones. Now, dun sa kwan natin, sa pag-create ng hormones ng from cholesterol, okay, they would pass the different layers of your adrenals. Now, kung merong isang hormone na nawawala dyan, most of them, if you would check, 17-hydroxylase, madami, 21-hydroxylase, madami, and 11-hydroxylase. Actually, kahit isa dyan, pag na-deficiency ka, pwedeng mag-cause ng congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Okay? Kasi, ang problem sa Ka or CAH is may deficiency of the enzyme. And kapag may deficiency ng enzyme, hindi ka makakapag-produce ng aldosterone, cortisol, tsaka testosterone or estradiol or the hormone, the sexual hormone of your adrenals ng normal levels, no? So, ang most common na enzyme involved sa Ka, okay, is 21-hydroxylase, no? 21-hydroxylase. So, pag napansin nyo, kung si 21-hydroxylase, hindi lang siya dito eh. Pero mainly on the cortex ang problem niya. Dito siya sa synthesis for cortisol. Pero, pag napansin nyo, dito sa synthesis ng aldosterone, andito din siya. Andyan din siya, no? So, anong mangyayari dyan? So, pag ganyan ang sitwasyon, natanggal ito, anong hindi na produce? Okay. Hindi na produce yung corticosterone, and aldosterone. So, wala kang aldosterone sa inyong system. Now, ano ba ang kahalaga ng aldosterone? Usually, it's related to your salt, no? Salt regulation ng iyong katawan, no? And kung may problem sa salt, it might lead to blood pressure problems or yung hypertension. Sa batang yan, na magkaroon ka ng ganyan, that will be detrimental and problematic in the future, no? Now, ano pa? Kapag wala ka ng aldosterone from this pathway, okay, there is increased progesterone, which is, well, a female hormone, di ba? So, magkaka-problem. Paano pag lalaki at tapos mataas ang female hormone? That will be one catch, no? That will be one feature na kailangan mong ma-identify clinically sa iyong bata, no? So, tataas ang progesterone. Now, pag si progesterone, dumadami ang production, tataas din ito, 17-hydroxyprogesterone. Pag napansin nyo itong 17-hydroxyprogesterone, ito yung marker natin for Ka, okay, or congenital adrenal hyperplasia na tinetest sa newborn screening. This is already the testing. Kasi hindi mo talaga makahanap ang mga features niya ahead sa first day of life yung bata, no? Kasi relatively parang normal yung bata. So you have to do screening talaga sa bata as early as the first day of life. So yung 17-hydroxyprogesterone, yan ang tataas. Okay? So kung tataas yan, pero wala ka na naman yung 21-hydroxylase kasi yun din yung same enzyme na nawawala. Anong walang nagagawa? Walang nagagawang cortisol. Patay. Walang problem. Anong problem pag walang cortisol? Well, sugar is also the one that is being regulated by cortisol. Aside from that, cortisol is also important in a lot of functions in the body, no? So it would drastically change, no, the metabolism of the child, lalo na it's involved in in more than one cycle, even in sugar control, kasi secondary siya sa insulin, insulin glucagon, ganon. So it goes hand in hand in regulating your sugar, no, cortisol. So kung wala yan, okay, matataas pa rin to. Yung female hormone pa rin ang mataas. Anong natitira? Okay, salt cannot be regulated. Your sugar cannot be regulated. That only leaves sex hormones per se. Sex hormones yung hindi nare-regulate. Ang nangyayari dyan, tumataas ang production ng sex hormone. Particularly, it will, no, create more estradiol or a female hormone, which is similar to, it is your estrogen. No, tataas yan. Now, ang problem dyan, paano pag lalaki? Okay, paano pag lalaki? At tapos mataas ang estrogen. So, magkakaroon ka ng ambiguous na gender or genitalia. Technically, the child would present with nung pinanganak mo yung bata, nakita mo yung bata was male. Male ba? Oo, male. Tapos biglang, bakit parang hindi na nagiging mukhang male yung ari ng bata? So, actually is yung congenital adrenal hypoplasia is the most common form of congenital disorder that will lead to ambiguous genitalia. That would be the presentation. Hindi mo kasi masasabi kung female part ba to or male part kasi sobrang you cannot fully tell the pwede kasing swollen or meron din talaga siyang phallus or yung penile shaft, no? So it's ambiguous, kumbaga. They call it an ambiguous genitalia. You cannot fully tell kung ano ba yung gender ng bata. And that will necessitate investigation. Kaya ka nagpapa-newborn screening. So, the most common form of ambiguous genitalia is yung congenital adrenal hypoplasia. Okay? Stressful yan syempre sa parents kasi paano mo i-explain yun sa mga magulang na Dok, akala ko ba lalaki yung anak ko, akala ko babae. So, anong nangyari? Bakit ganun yung itsura nung ari nung bata, nung baby, ganun. So, you have to explain that it can be one of those rare congenital disorders na kailangan nating investigahan.
Siyempre,
at kailangan bantayan.
Ganyan naman magaling yung grupo nila eh. Magfa-file ng kaso. Makaklag yung courts natin.
Tumunog. Ano yun? Ayun. So, kailangan mabantayan mo yun. Kailangan mo mabantayan kung paano natin ma-actionan to agad. Now, if babalikan mo yung kwento dun sa video ni Teach, ang problem kasi dun sa karamdaman na to is, syempre, kung newborn ito, you have to take care of the child as early as pinanganak mo. And yung gamutan nito is not an easy task, no? It's not an easy task, no? So, balikan lang natin kung ano ba yung deficiencies niya and ano yung magiging problem niya. Again, it is yung 21-hydroxylase ang problem natin. Dito sa first line na to. Okay, salt wasting because wala siyang wala siyang cortisol. Wala din siyang aldosterone, no? Meron siyang precocious puberty in children. Then, yung sex hormone niya, particularly the female is, the female sex hormone, mataas, no? Mineralocorticoid mo, down. Okay? Take note na yung levels niya is mababa ang cortisol, mababa din ang aldosterone, no? Sa 21-hydroxylase. And then, potassium is high. Okay. Ang problem naman dito, meron siyang yung virilization. Kung ano bang definition ng virilization, tingnan natin ulit. Limutan ko na yan eh. So, a condition in which a female develops a characteristic associated with male hormones. So, when a newborn has a characteristic male hormone exposure at birth. Now, XX virilization is female virilization. So, kapag XX virilization naman, baliktad ata yun. Ayan. XX infant is also commonly known as your Ka. No? Virilizing often involves passing groups. No? Sabi niya dito. Of adrenal disorders wherein there is a deficiency, particularly yung enzyme na 21. Now, napansin nyo dyan, yan. Si 17-hydroxylase naman, yung isang enzyme na involved, ambiguous genitalia, undescended testes, lacks of secondary sexual development. Lahat siya mababa. Bakit yung 17 medyo mas detrimental? Pagbalikan mo yung pathway na pinakita ko kanina, balik tayo doon. Yan. Nasa taas siya ba? Doon pa lang wala nang nagagawang hormone. Progesterone lang. Hindi na siya makapag-push through. Pero, pupush through siya dito. Okay, aldosterone. The rest, hindi siya makakapag-produce ng cortisol, makakapag-produce ng estrogen, estradiol. Production niya lang would just be aldosterone. So, ang presentation niyan is more likely of hypertension. No? Mataas. Chances of hypertension. Tingnan natin. Yun. Blood pressure increased. No? Ambiguous genitalia kasi, let's say, XY, male, ambiguous genitalia. Lalaki dapat siya, kaso lang nagmumukhang babae. Kasi hindi rin bumaba yung itlog. So, yung testes is nasa abdomen. Tapos, maliit yung phallus or maliit yung ari. No? Dito naman, naging babae yung itsura. No? Female virilization. No? And then, kailangan mo din mabantayan yung hormones niya kasi masyadong mataas. It might lead to early puberty, precocious puberty kasi nagkakaroon na siya ng progesterone tsaka estrogen at an baby pa lang siya, which is hindi normal. Dapat pagdating ng puberty pa lang yan, no? Pag sampa niya, baka kasi magkaroon yung tipong magka-menstrual cycle, ganun. Siyempre, bata pa yan. Precocious puberty in children, no? So, pag sinabing precocious puberty in children, yan. So, it occurs kapag meron siyang, signs of puberty before the age of 8, no, for girls, and 9 for boys. So, nagkakaroon siya ng parang sexual maturization or yung puberty as early as 8 years old. Bata pa to eh. Mas may at risk siya kasi yung mga hormones niya na-activate niya at an early age, no? So, yun ang ayaw naman natin mangyari. Okay? Again, ito yung mga ibang hormones na pwede rin ma-involve dun sa sequence ng Ka. Si 21, yan. 17, 11 din pwede. Pero madalas kasi si 21. So, yung presentation niya is yung virilization and then may ambiguous din na genitalia. O hindi mo masabi kung ano to, lalaki o babae. Diba? So, that is the most common feature. Now, paano ba ang gamutan niya? Siyempre, ang gamutan is you have to replace the things that are not being created by the body. So, kung hindi nagagawa ang cortisol, which is a steroid hormone, kailangan mo mag-provide ng replacement therapy. Okay? Kapag replacement therapy, meaning you have to provide low dose or stress dose cortisol treatment. Usually, yan, yung medyo mahal. Kaya sinasabing mahal nung father na feature, mahal ang gamutan yan kasi you have to maintain the child with cortisol therapy, no? And even kapag mababa din yung ibang levels, you have to take note of, well, yung sodium niya, kasi yun nga, yung aldosterone niya rin, makakaroon siya ng, or yung salt sa kanyang body, magkakaroon ng abnormality. You have to weigh things, minomonitor mo yun, up to the child grows older, no? Medyo, yun nga, mahal talaga ang pagpangalaga ng isang bata with congenital adrenal hyperplasia, no? Now, prognosis-wise, tingnan natin kung ba itsura ng prognosis. Bali, tinitignan ko kasi ito sa guidelines sa, sa America. Prognosis for Ka, let's see. Child kasi ito eh. So, if you take note of ano ba ang magiging effect nito long term, you have to weigh it first, no? Okay. Actually, may mga nabubuhay naman na may with Ka. Prognosis of Ka. They can have a good and healthy life, no? but maybe shorter than other adults. So kasi may kailangan mong ma-maintain yung treatment ng hormones eh. Ang magiging sagabal mo lang dyan, syempre if you're on hormones, and hormones usually also have an effect on your immune system. They dull. Okay, they make you more suppressed. You're more prone to more infections. Now, if you are on constant immune corticosteroid treatment, mas prone ka magkaroon ng infection. No, yun lang naman ang magiging problem natin. Let's say you've been caught in the crosshairs of an ongoing pandemic. No, yun ang ayaw ko natin mangyari. And it will later on be at risk. You'll be at risk having recurrent infections. Ganon. Now, ano pa? Prolonged exposure sa steroids. Actually, it will affect a child's stature. Pwedeng hindi na siya tumangkad. No? How prolonged exposure to steroids can increase the chance of short stature. Hindi na siya tatangkad at all. Hindi niya na maabot yung peak height niya. No? Aside from that, these individuals na magbibigay ka ng cortisol, ganun, or na treatment para ma-maintain, ma-regulate mo yung aldosterone for production niya at saka yung cortisol level niya, they will have still issues on identity. No? Siyempre yung kanila, yung identity nila will be questioned. Usually it's a self problem pag tumanda na sila. Are they a male or are they a female? May nabasa ako tungkol kay Jeff Kadangahan, which is a prominent Filipino intersex man, human rights activist, no, raised female, then was later diagnosed as Ka. And so napanganak siya as female, pero later on it was revealed na Ka siya, so congenital adrenal hyperplasia siya, so lalaki pala siya, no, in per se nagkaroon siya ng identity crisis, no. So ang nangyari dito, I'm not sure bakit nagkaroon dito, meron siyang Republic versus Jennifer B. Kadangahan. Meron siyang problem with his birth certificate. So dito naman na-mention na siya with the pronoun of his. So meaning lalaki talaga. Initially was named as a female, Jennifer. Now placed as his, no. So mabot pa ata sa Supreme Court yung case niya. Interesting. Magandang basahin to. And then approved the correction of his birth certificate, including the change of the gender and change of name. So ano nangyari? The case was appealed and was compiled with and statement of congenital. So nag-grant na maging male siya. Kasi pinanganak siyang babae. Ni-raise siyang babae, I mean. Then later on, revealed na meron siyang congenital condition and pinaglaban niya, no, na ma-change yung gender niya to male, na naging Jeff Kadangahan. Okay. Kadangahan organized the first Philippine National Intersex Forum in November 2019, supported by Intersex Asia. Okay. Mission to help others. So, may mga prominent people with this condition na kailangan natin makita. No, hindi naman sa kailangan makita, na-recognize, no. So, aside from that, yun nga, Filipino. Okay. So, it's something interesting, no. Well, nonetheless, yun din. Like I said, saan na tayo kanina? Prognosis, I mean, nabadaran natin short stature, infertility, another thing na pwede din magkaroon ng problem. Siyempre, you're dealing with the hormones of reproduction, progesterone, estrogen. They can make haywire or magkaroon ng problema sa cycle ng menstrual cycle ng isang babae, no? And later on, hindi ka magkakaroon ng regular menstrual cycle kapag ganyan. At hindi nako-correct yung hormone levels mo. Kasi a woman usually is dependent on the cycle para magkaroon ng regular flow. Kung hindi nagiging normal yung level niyan every month or every cycle, it's a serious concern kasi hindi mo makakatch kung fertile ba, ovulating ba ang isang babae, or kung yun pala amenorrheic na siya because of a problem. No? Okay, so yun, those are some of the issues na makikita sa isang patient na may ka na tumanda and survive childhood, no? Now, again, complications na pakita naman na natin. Ano pa bang pwedeng external complication? Well, hypertension, pwede rin siya mag-develop ng hypertension later on kasi yun nga, patient will be subjected to cortisol, so steroid therapy pa rin, pwede kang mag-develop pa rin ng hypertension in that situation. Okay? Ano pa? Cataract as well because you are exposed also with steroids. Sabi ko nga, steroid therapy, before they call it a wonder drug, pero if it's a prolonged use, there are more complications kapag matagalan mo siyang tinitake, lalo na, pero you weigh things, no? The benefit of this to help you maintain your hormonal levels is better or has a higher calling. Mas kailangan mo yon compared na wala kang ibigay at all, no? So you have to weigh the risk, the benefit and the risk, no, of yun nga, of your condition. So they provided steroids, pero yun nga, you have to monitor for the complications of steroid therapy. Hypertension, cataract, early cataract, no, infertility, and also yun nga, it may also project with other conditions in the adrenals. Kasi hormones na naman yan eh. So it might also lead to enlargement of the ovary, polycystic conditions, AUB, or gonadal mass, ganun, or adrenal mass, or ano pa. Yan. Sabi ko nga, infection. Siguro, pinaka-best kasi since nasa kidneys yung taas nito, they are more prone to developing UTI, no, recurrent UTI, because of the obstruction of, yun, nag-hyperproliferate yung tissues sa matres. It might even also cause, yung kapag nag-menstrual flow, magkaroon ng obstruction because yung abnormal yung level ng flow. It might lead to infection, no? Ano pa ba? Some situations they warrant surgery. I think nabanggit nila dito. Pero surgery is not really required, especially for infants. Pag sa matanda, kino-consider na yung surgery, lalo na kung nagkakaroon siya ng problem in menstrual flow. Pero all in all, it's more on medical. Medical lang talaga yung congenital adrenal hypoplasia. Now, dun sa father na nagkaroon ng problem, I think the major concern there is finances. Mahal talaga. Currently, the law in the country is anchored only with detection in newborn screening. And sa mga ganitong conditions like they are usually best catered in government institutions na solely are assisted by, siyempre, yung mga benefits from a government institution, so social service, and siguro mga foundations na pwedeng mag-cover for them. I'm not sure kung may foundation for in the country, pero in other countries they have, and they can also provide support. Yun nga lang, napansin nyo dun sa furniture ni Teacher Mark, parang I think wala atang iba pala foundation. Walang direct foundation for like this childhood condition. I mean yung condition like foundation for Parkinson's, ganun, o condition for congenital diseases, ganun. I think wala pa akong aware, hindi pa ako aware kung meron man tayong mga ganun. Kung meron man, pwede natin silang i-navigate sa mga ganung foundations para sila yung pwedeng makapagtulong sa family for searching for funds and resources for the child to grow and develop, no? Yun ang maganda, no? Yun nga lang, parang I think wala ata. Because this condition is very rare. No, very rare indeed. You know? And at least we have the capacity to detect. Yun nga lang, we have to also improve in healthcare and especially yung pag-provide ng treatment. Siguro sa abroad, marami ng modalities. Pero in the country, we have to move around. Some pay patients na may ganito, they even resort to going abroad para magpagamot. Pero syempre, hindi lahat ng Pilipino kayang gawin yun. So, that sparks need for assistance from the government kung kaya bang i-push for healthcare. Itong mga ganitong condition. Maraming kailangan. No? Okay? Ang haba ng ng sagot ko kay Teach. Sana naman, naiintindihan nyo. So again, hormonal imbalance talaga itong problem na to. Nagkakaroon ka na ng mataas na hindi ka nakaka-produce ng aldosterone, cortisol. Nagdibigay ka ng hydroxycorticosterone or hydrocortisone para lang mag-produce ka ng aldosterone and ma-push mo din na magkaroon siya ng ibang products, even cortisol stimulation para ma-replace mo yung hindi niya nagagawang hormone. And mabuhay siya, no? Kasi yun nga, most of the cases kapag ganito na hindi nakakapag-develop ng maayos, they would either be, pinakita ba dito? They would either be retarded or it might lead to the patient's demise. No, yun naman ang ayaw natin mangyari. Okay? So, for the family of those who have this certain condition, syempre, have enough patience to provide care for your children. This is a challenge, but these challenges are made to be overcome, no? It depends on you how you would move forward towards this, no? And well, kung may mga problems kayo, you just have to talk it out with the doctor para lang malay mo may pwedeng sa inyo, mag-navigate sa inyo sa isang society na aware sila. Kung wala, and they can ask assistance sa social service para makahanap ng isang siguro private foundation na tumutulong for conditions like congenital diseases. Yung specific hindi lang yung basta-basta na foundation na alam mo naman, marami kasi mga foundation dyan. Okay? Sige, hanggang doon na lang yung video ko. Thank you, Teach. At na-shoutout ako. And hopefully may natutunan kayo tungkol sa newborn screening at saka sa Ako din, marami na akong natutunan. No? Biglaan to. At kagaling ko lang din pala. Yun nga, kagaling ko rin sa aeroplano. Kaya kung malayong lugar. And thank you guys for dropping by. This is, again, I think this is the last video for today. Tomorrow ulit. And again, this is Doc Chris. You're off duty. Tomorrow, back to reality. Family doctor. And see you all on the next video. Bye guys. Ciao.